on Extra-Ordi-Nerdy.
Everything is awesome!
No,
Everything
it's
is
really
awesome
not. We're talking about the Lego movie, and nothing about it is awesome.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to Extra-Ordi-Nerdy, where I'm going to lose a whole lot of viewers by disliking the Lego movie. I know. Early on, too. I really should have saved this for much later, but the Lego movie's fresh out, and I have some issues.
I would like to know, what bone could you possibly have to pick with the Lego movie?
Okay, this movie, in my opinion, is like a supreme example of everything wrong with the messages that we're giving our boys these days. Because what do you think happens in the Lego movie?
Well, pretty much you have a very plain Lego that's supposed to be the most special Lego, and he has all these people around him that are incredibly talented. I mean, literally, Batman is in his crew, but this guy is supposed to be the guy that saves the day, and he's like literally like if you have like a manufacturing line and you just got like the most generic Lego you could possibly have, like that's this guy. And at the end of the day, spoilers, people, sorry, but he becomes like he's picked as the special, which is what they call in the movie, and he's the one that saves the day, despite having no actual attributes, no real personality, and like nothing that's actually legitimately special about him.
So what we're saying is, this movie trains you that if you're lucky enough to be born with a pretty pink penis, you don't have to do jack in life in order to have everything just given to you. Because that, to me, is what I caught out of the movie. At the very beginning of it, we see him in the blandness that is his life, and then we get introduced to the female lead, who has spent years training to be the special, is super competent, is good at everything that she does. And you know what? Everyone thinks that she's going to be this person because she has earned it. But no, he falls down a little rabbit hole, finds the piece that makes him special, and suddenly it doesn't matter that she's worked her butt off for this. What matters is he found the MacGuffin that suddenly says, oh, hey, we forgot how white you are, and you're a dude. You get everything given to you in life. And I'm not just bitching about this because it's horrible. This is a terrible message for actual white men, which I know we don't have any here. But here's why it's a terrible message. I know, and I'm sure that you guys know these guys too, some like 35-year-old guys that still live in a basement apartment somewhere, working a dead-end job, don't have a girlfriend, like your horrible stereotypes, not necessarily nerds, just horrible stereotypes of human beings, that are sure that they are better than everyone else around them. They just haven't had that MacGuffin fall into their lap yet, and they're waiting for it. They're waiting because every movie they've watched has told them that they don't have to earn it. That if this guy or this guy works his butt off, gets a degree, does postgraduate work, volunteers, does everything in his power to make himself a better human being, he will never be as good as the dude with the pretty pink penis because, hey, guess what you guys are packing?
Yeah.
I haven't actually checked. He has a wife.
Peanuts. Soap bubbles.
And that's a terrible message to give to boys. I just think that that encourages them to feel like they don't actually have to achieve anything. And I think that it also encourages the crazy right-wing nut jobs that really resent affirmative action. People that are watching this movie, growing up, internalizing this message that as long as you find your MacGuffin, Batman will personally hand you a girlfriend you don't deserve. Because you found the thing! It fell into your lap with no earning of it whatsoever. Resent someone like him who has his own they have them together, but has his own podcast and has done things in life. Resent people like me that own my own business. Because we all worked our asses off to get there. No one handed this to any of us. We made it happen. You're teaching boys, specifically white boys, you don't have to make it happen. It's just going to happen for you because, you were born lucky.
I was just going to say, the fact that this character literally stumbles on to the piece that, changes his life. He's not looking for it.
No.
He literally, trips and falls into a hole, and it gets glued onto his back.
Yeah.
While
he doesn't even have to maintain it. It's physically attached to him in a way he can't get rid of. Because that's what makes you special, is not having to earn jack and having it stick to you.
Yeah, because he wakes up with it on his back. It's almost like he's reborn.
He doesn't even
with
know.
it. Yeah, someone has to point it out to him. Oh, by the way, you have the most important piece stuck to your back because you passed out after you fell.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the female protagonist, she's looking for it. She's been looking for it her entire life. And she's like that close to getting it, and he pretty much like takes it like right out from under her.
Which, again, is the story of just about every woman that's ever tried to make it in a corporate environment where, hey, you're almost there. Everyone around you agrees that you've earned this. We're going to go hire someone that looks a lot like him. You know why? Because that rockin' t-shirt, you know.
Yeah, because me and the boss man, we both like Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly.
And how he, you know, reaffirms the struggle that we had in the 80s.
And it's even worse with the stuff specifically to girls, because there's a scene, my rage, can you feel it, internet, can you? There's a scene where she's accepted the fact that, okay, I'm not going to be the special, all these years of work were for nothing, let me at least help this guy out by getting him caught up on everything he needs to know in order to literally save the world.
Yeah.
Kind of important stuff that he needs to know. And little hearts appear around her, and it subtitles over her saying, blah, 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 as she's trying to tell him everything that she's learned in the past however many years that he needs to save his life and save their entire world. Because it doesn't matter if girls are talking as long as they're pretty.
Yeah, it's literally, because the whole thing is like, you know, obviously he's not the person that they were expecting. But it's like, well, this is what we got stuck with. This is what the prophecy says. We got to go with this. She's like, all right, so in order for this to actually work, let me at least impart all the knowledge that I have accumulated over the years and let this guy know. So maybe something will just sink in. Maybe his head, since it's so empty, will be like a sponge and suck all the knowledge in. And yeah, like I think she maybe got 2 to 3 words out before he just starts.
Or literally blah blah blah. And what kind of message is that to both boys and girls? In all seriousness, like, the young kids watching this are going to come away from this feeling like you don't have to listen to girls. Even if they say it's something important, you can figure out how to do it because you've got the MacGuffin stuck to your back anyway. It's not like anything they say can help. And to girls, you will never be listened to. That is what it says.
What I think is really interesting, especially when you first had brought up, you know, your gripes with the Lego movie, is like I feel like the message is also very subversive because on the surface they're saying their message is everyone's special. Like that's what it's supposed to be. Like even someone who it's like supposed to be like, well, even if you think you're not special, you're still special. Everyone's special regardless. But it's like there's the underlying message where it's like, okay, well, that's what they're telling you, but this is what they're showing you.
Yeah.
And they're showing you is that you don't actually have to do anything or accomplish anything to actually, you know, achieve what you want.
Well, not only that, but you will never be special because you know what? Morgan Freeman's the only black guy in the movie, and his part is already taken. And you don't get to be Morgan Freeman. He's busy doing it himself right now. I don't get to be special unless you count being handed over by Batman as a prize as being special. You don't even get to be in the movie, dude. Sorry, no Hispanics allowed in this one. So, yeah, you're special if you're white and a dude, and if all the other white dudes just... Well, actually, Morgan Freeman annoys you personally. So, unless you know Morgan Freeman, and he's personally going to do whatever mystical thing Morgan Freeman does, which doesn't happen as often as you would think, not even you are special, white dudes. Sorry, put your penis away. It's the whole everyone can be special thing. All these people that are working so hard to be special aren't. Because dude found a thing.
Yeah.
How is that a message saying that everyone is special? What that's saying is, find a thing. Don't look for it, though. If you're looking for it, you'll never find it. Don't attempt to achieve anything.
Yeah, it really negates the idea of hard work and creativity. Because, I mean, when they're introducing everybody, like, everyone has a skill. Like, you know, the group that the main character joins are called Master Builders. And they're called that because they can build pretty much anything. Not because they were born with it. But, you know, it's something that is a skill and a craft that they
they make it very clear that, like, you see these zoom-ins where they'll have the part numbers next to everything, and these guys can look at a part and immediately know how it will fit into everything.
Yeah, it's almost like the Matrix, where they can see, they can see the code and they're able to assemble all these things. But yeah, like I was saying, it's from years and years of trying. Whereas this guy just falls backwards into this role, and then all of a sudden, I think it's kind of funny too, because all of a sudden they're all supposed to like accept him as their leader, and it's just like. And you're supposed to feel bad that they don't. It's like, no, realistically, you wouldn't, because he hasn't done anything to actually prove himself.
I mean, imagine that in either a workplace or, since we're geeks, at a convention. Let's say you're at a convention. Let's say Black Nerd Girls at Twitter.com are at one of the girl conventions, and some dude walks in like, you know what? I've never actually been to a convention before, but I watched Big Bang Theory. You should watch our episode about that. And I think I can do this better than all of you, so sit back, ladies, especially you black ladies over there. I got this.
Yeah, so you can imagine how infuriating that would be. I mean, it's just like any facet of life when you have somebody who thinks that they know better when they have no experience to even try and back that up.
Yeah, and that's who this character is. Like, he's that annoying know-it-all that gets in your face like, oh, hey, I heard you like sound files. Well, I've got the soundiest file of all sound. Why? Pretty big penis.
Oh my god, I don't care.
Yeah. And so I don't think this is a good movie to show children, even though I will concede a couple of points. It is visually beautiful.
Yeah.
It is visually beautiful. The things they did with the actual Legos were really neat to watch. And the thing that aggravates me the most, I have actually enjoyed playing many of the Lego video games. Because they don't talk. And it's just fun, and you can be whatever, well, I mean, technically I was usually Indiana Jones, but as you're playing, it's not, I mean, it's gendered because it's Indiana Jones, but there's nothing specifically gendered about the stuff he's doing because it's a Lego video game. As opposed to this, where it's like, woohoo! Are you kidding? And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, we've all seen at this point on Facebook that adorable, like, pigtailed girl from the 70s building some Legos in her overalls.
Yeah. It's been circulating pretty recently, actually.
Yeah.
Now that you've mentioned that we've got this whole episode out, you know, you kind of see this disenfranchisement on the internet of people slowly feeling that way about this movie.
Yeah.
While at the same time, there's people that are still coming, you know, haven't seen the movie. Like, just today, a couple of Facebook friends of mine, like, just came back from watching the Lego movie. Pretty cool movie, man. Might be in my top 10 for this year.
I hate to ask, are they white dudes?
Yes.
Wow!
Yes.
Gosh, that movie says such wonderful things to them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think what's ironic about it is, like, the movie really has an opportunity to go in a different direction. Because, again, spoilers. I know spoiling a Lego movie is a huge thing. It's hard to predict. But the part where the main character gets captured, at that point, he's no longer, like, in the game. It's no longer all up to him.
Yeah.
And he's literally surrounded by all of the people that are the, you know, all the master builders, all the actual talented people. I think what would have been better is if he actually had just, like, freed them, and then they go and they save it. Because it's like, they obviously are the ones that have the ability to do it.
I agree.
You know, something like that. But basically to show, like, okay, well, you actually do have to at least try to develop some talent.
Especially because it's a Lego movie. Like, the whole point of Legos, and they did some contradictory things with this, is you get a pile of random bricks and you can make something awesome out of them. There's so much potential to encourage creativity and hard work and taking something apart. Like, experimentation is something they could really have emphasized in this, of seeing him sit there and just try to put something together. That's not quite it. Take the bricks apart, try to put it together again. Okay, I think, there we go. Show that little learning curve. You can do it as a montage. We've all seen Rocky. That's fine.
We've all seen Karate Kid. That's like what Karate Kid is. You know, a little Italian kid comes from Brooklyn to the West Coast. And,
He goes east. He visits China.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Spoilers.
Eventually he gets there. Let's not spoil part 2 already. Yeah, but I mean, that's exactly what the Karate Kid is. Just like this measly kid who didn't have a lot going for him, didn't really care for school.
But he learned things.
But he learns.
He gained actual skills.
Yeah, from a person who was skillful.
And that's what this is missing. That whole, you're entitled to it because you're born white, just as a white dude specifically, just bugs me. Especially that's the way, again, and I know I've mentioned this before, but as you can tell, I'm a little irritated. The way they really just played up the whole women can never achieve jack. You can try, ladies. You can be better at guys than every single thing out there. Never going to be good enough. So why should any girl watching this movie even want to try?
Yeah, it's like the message that they send is like, the best you're going to get is you can be the guy that does achieve something, you can be his girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, and literally, like you mentioned, like, literally, like, Batman's like, you deserve her, you know.
She's handed off like a prize, the one competent person. They had so much potential with it as well, because, again, spoilers, you explore different universes within Lego, and yeah, most of them are universes where you can buy some tie-in toys. That's fine, the tie-in toys are awesome. They could have done all kinds of really cool things. Instead, they literally just made it, here's a set piece, by the way, did you know we have an Old West thing? Here's a set piece, by the way, did you know you can buy the Millennium Falcon? And not going into any of those universes and making him use his imagination or do anything to explore with that. There's so much potential, such a bad script, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they really dropped the ball. Because, I don't know, because I love the message where they're having, because the whole thing in the movie is all the universes have to be kept separately, and the whole thing is like, no, let's mix and mash them, and everyone can be included and all that, and it's like, okay, they have that really great message, but unfortunately, it's just delivered in a way that's really, that's really bad, and I think it's one of the things where it's like, if this message was in, like, an adult movie, it's like, okay, I mean, it's still not good, but it's like the fact that it's geared towards children, and they're not going to pick up on it right away. No. Like I said, it's subversive. It's going to be on a subconscious level where they're like, oh well, obviously I don't need to do anything.
We raise our kids with multimedia these days. I mean, how often? Your kid's only 3. You probably don't just play in front of the TV that much, but lots of parents do at this point. Use the TV as a babysitter. You get popular movies they like. They watch them over and over and over again. And I mean, that's nothing new. People have been doing that since the VHS was around.
Me and my kid, we've been watching Beast Wars for the past 2 weeks, I think.
And pretty soon you're going to want to murder Beast Wars because you've seen them that many times.
Right. There's only so many times I can watch Dinobot die.
The tragedy, dude. The tragedy.
I know.
And so they're going to soak these things in as they're looking around trying to figure out at that young, influenceable age what is normal. And yes, being a Lego is not necessarily normal, but the things that kids pick up from these movies are, what are your gender roles supposed to be? What is your relation to people of color? Things along those lines. And this is not a good one to show your kids if those are things that you actually care about.
I think what makes it even worse is just like the fact that it's a Lego movie. Like there's such a diversity of Legos, And it's like they didn't really show that in the movie. Like you said, there's Morgan Freeman, the one black guy, and there's like one woman. Yeah. And everyone else are just the generic yellow Legos.
Yeah.
It's like, they're like really, like it would have been difficult to come up with other characters.
The thing that blows my mind is they obviously had enough licensing rights to get the Millennium Falcon on screen. Wouldn't it be awesome if they actually had made like a Star Wars Legos Fights the Old West or something along those lines? Use the systems you've got, use the characters from those fandoms. I would be excited to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Even more incredible was because, this is WB Games who makes the Lego games, right? So it's almost an automatic license or an automatic go-ahead to make DC-related games.
Oh, that's a good point.
But you need Marvel/Disney to do the license. So obviously they had to go to Disney to put the Millennium Falcon in there.
Yeah, they really went out of their way.
How much more awesome would it have been for them to go to Disney Marvel and bring in some Marvel characters?
Oh my god, we could have had a Lego...
Thank you, right?
Yes!
Right?
Yes!
Because Lego Marvel Superheroes is a pretty incredible game. I'm currently running off of GameFly. And it's awesome. It's fun. It's actually...
That would be a great beginner superhero movie for kids if you had the DC versus Marvel and they're all Legos and they have to work together to build up a whole universe, and you've got some female characters and you've got some of the black characters which both teams have. Oh no! The potential! Why didn't you do that?
I really want to see Samuel L. Jackson as a Lego.
Yes!
He's the angriest Lego you've ever seen. Where's my other eyeball?
I'm the other credit card guy.
Some assembly required. Only for ages 5 and up. So I feel like they kind of dropped the ball. Now that we've seen what we could do, but they are making a sequel, so I don't know. Maybe they'll actually.
I have a horrible feeling the sequel's going to be more of the same.
And it's funny that you guys mentioned how a message should be subversive.
Yeah.
I feel like Disney films pretty much do that with little effort.
Can you give us an example?
I don't know. If you just think about maybe like Toy Story, where there's the emphasis of friendship. Mainly like Pixar films. I'm not too keen on
Pixar's pretty awesome.
The older ones, although I do love me some anthropomorphic Robin Hood.
The Fox one.
Yeah. Fox and the Hound's another good fun one where it's like where you're fighting the battles, a fox and a hound shouldn't be friends, and you can kind of read into that, like maybe a white friend and a black friend, like, oh, this is a time where you shouldn't be friends, and then there's like the really life or death situation WALL-E. That was.
I mean, they weren't exactly subtle with that one, but it was a message I liked. Like, hey, maybe we should actually pick up and recycle, kids,
and
or get a tiny bit of exercise.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't use any of us as an example at that last point.
So I feel instead of I want to say it was probably Warner Brothers studio that funded it, but that did the movie. But had Disney come under the helm and given it to Pixar or whomever, I feel like they would have done the movie justice and not only rewrit the whole feel that you would have gotten from it, but also threw in some other tangents into there. Where like the same sex stuff is okay and women probably would have had a more stronger role in the movie.
I'm going to throw something in there that everybody looks at me like I'm crazy when I say this, but I think that the Disney buyout is the best thing that could have happened to Star Wars.
Oh.
I am 100% serious about that. I think they're going to make Star Wars movies that I will actually enjoy now. Because I'm not a princess or a prostitute, so George Lucas made it really clear that he doesn't welcome me in his universe.
Yeah.
But Disney doesn't play that way. Disney loves them some princesses, for one thing, because that's their bread and butter. So they're not going to leave it with just the princesses they've already got. They're definitely going to add some more in. And the princesses in the newer Disney movies tend to be stronger characters.
Yeah.
I mean, not, quote, a strong female character, but someone the kids might actually... Like Merida.
Or even, I would even say Rapunzel, where she's kind of like a nice balance between the two. I mean, she's pretty and she likes to wear fun clothes, but she's also the very adventurous, tough mentality type of person. And I really enjoyed watching Tangled with my kid. You know, he likes the superficial violence. Like, if he's crying, you know, I will have to pretend to like stub my toe and fall on the ground and actually hurt my shoulder on the way down, and he will just stop crying and laugh his ass off. Or Rapunzel smashing what's his name with the frying pan, or you can just swing it around, and he wants to go grab a frying pan, my delicate saucepans, and start banging them on stuff, you know. But it's the same thing with Merida, you know, him being a young 3-year-old boy can still find a role model in a strong older female. Yeah. You know, so I think to me it's a message that I'm not only trying to teach, but I think one that hopefully will stick with him through the time and be like, hey, you know, I can find a role model, whether male or female, black, white, Asian, whatever, you know, transsexual, anything.
Speaking of stereotypes, by the way, did you know that geeks get married and breed?
And have awesome children.
Yeah, his son's pretty adorable. Well, I think I have ranted enough that I can just calm down a little bit about this movie. What, you guys have anything left?
I think I'm good.
All right. There are great movies to show your kids. This isn't one of them. Go find one of the better ones.
Good luck.